Gonna do a couple different colors for the fur. You may, oops, I hit the flesh. Hang on one second. As I just said, a couple different colors for the fur. I'm gonna go for lighter colors since I think I'm gonna end up being a bit darker on the other areas here. But currently this is Stonewall Gray, game color Stonewall Gray. And some may be inclined to paint all the fur the same color, but I mean, it's fur, it's natural, so I mean, mix it up a little bit. You can make... There's a difference between making things color coordinated and making them match. I mean, I can do this, make this guy patchwork. I know I talk a lot about balancing colors, but you can make some guy patchwork colors on him and still balance. For example, this gray I'm using here, I'll also, let's say, use on the bottom right here. So I'm still mixing in different colors, but it's still going to be balanced and it's still going to have variety. So I'm going to do this and then add some white to this for the highlights. Just going to do one highlight, and that's going to be enough. For the rest of the fur, I'm going to do in, I think this is beige. Yeah, let's say beige for the moment. And then once again highlight it with white. Save time and highlight that gray and this beige at the same time using the same color. Now we'll go ahead and you know what? Just for a little bit more variety, add a little khaki to this color. Do I want khaki? No, hang on. I want some tanned earth. Yeah, excuse me. Brushing my mouth. Tanned earth. Mix it with a little beige I already have on there. A little bit more variety. I got sepia and black ink on my palette, and I'm just mixing them in different ratios for the different furs. A little more black for the grays and a little bit more sepia for the other ones. And oops, wait a minute. I'm actually using different ones on the two different grays. This one, I'm going to use a lot thinner wash than I just did on the shoulder pad. And then we'll go heavier sepia. More sepia and a thicker wash. Oops, that's not dry entirely, so we'll hold off on that for a moment. Hopefully the front's dry. Let's try that. That's not dry either. Painting too fast. Well, we're gonna do the sepia wash on that. In the meantime, I need to start painting I'm gonna paint all the straps. I already did here, but all the straps, the belt, and everything in camel black brown, because all this is gonna be brown in different shades, and the camel black brown would be a good base to start from, and from there I could paint it light brown or dark brown. We will see. So, going with brown for the straps, obviously. And this is burnt umber. I'm going to use this for the belt and the upper straps. And then the sack here and the little pouch and some other areas will paint a different color brown. Burnt umber and chocolate brown, they're very close to each other. And they're good when I usually use those for either as an extra shade for my normal flat brown mixture, or if I'm painting a darker leather. They're two good starting points. Not sure where I'm going to go from here with them at the moment. decided to go with English uniform, which is a bit of the greenish, lighter brown. And currently this is just a mixture, which on these straps on the top here I could actually just go straight to English uniform. However, really need the extra layers on the big area of the belt that you can see in the back here. That's going to take a few extra coats rather than just the simple one or two layers. But that's already it for those. Switching to straight English uniform right now, and just hit the edges like nya. That's about it for that. So let's do the straight English uniform here. It's still a little wet, so I could wet blend it together. And then on just this area here and on the front of the belt, I'll mix in a little bit of probably buff to highlight that. I think that'll be it. For the wraps on his legs and arms, going with khaki. And I'm trying to leave that camel black brown between the wraps so we get a good amount of contrast. We're going to wash this, but you know, every little bit of contrast you have helps. And this is just a base color here. I don't think I'm going to stick with this. But I'll probably go lighter, but I need to put something down so I can more easily make up my mind. Gotta finish this up, and we're starting to crash here. It's really late. Added some buff to the khaki and going over the wraps again. We are at the hour and 38 mark. So at this point, it's just like, hurry, get it done. It's not going to look super awesome, I can tell right now. But we've gotten so far in this little speed project, and I'm not gonna start from scratch again. Did a sepia wash on the wrappings off camera. Now I'm doing the club in flat earth. And same color I painted as pouch on the other side, but I don't want it. I can use the same colors without making it look exactly the same, because I don't want it to look exactly the same as the leather. Mainly by changing up the highlight colors and putting a wash over it, so even though the base color is the same, it will look differently. And I really don't like this club. It's got a face on it. It looks like a tiki statue. Just, I don't know, it doesn't seem appropriate. It looks weird. And I'm not picking out teeth or anything on the skull. I'm just assuming it's a wood carving on this very rough wooden club. If you're going to carve a face on a club, why the hell would you do it on a rough-hewn surface? I mean, do it on a smooth piece of wood, sure, but it just doesn't make sense. In order to keep things moving along here, I'm not going to wait for that club to dry and do things slightly out of order here and get the metal bits done. Model color air mixed with a little black to take away some of the sheen. And I'm not going to highlight this. Instead, I'm just going to rely on washes to take care of it. But while this dries, I can go back and finish the club, and then come back and start washing all these little armor plates. To highlight the club, going with yellow ochre, which is way too light. But I'm gonna do some heavy washes on this, and that's gonna darken it down. Should be okay. And once again, saving time, I got some buff on the palette at the moment. So we'll run that over this as well. Just mix it a little bit in with the yellow ochre. Bring out the face a little more. And right now it's looking kind of like straw. But again, heavy wash, tone everything down, and pop out the details. I got brown and black ink on my palette mixed together, and we're going to use this in a couple different areas. First on the club here, obviously. This is a very thick mixture. And it really helps to pop out all the detail. So that's good there. And now I'm going to add a bit more black to the same mixture and thin it out a bit more. Thin it out a lot more actually. And I'm going to apply this to the armor. And the wash on the armor here is going to take a couple times. First kind of an overall wash, and then once that's completely dry I can go over it again to add a bit more shade in the recesses or wherever I think needs it. For example, on the bottom of this shoulder plate, because the gloss or the metallic flakes are a bit resistant to the wash right now. But once that first wash dries more, it kind of acts as a layer, and it will allow subsequent washes to stick a bit better. So that's about it for the moment. While I have it out, I'm gonna mix a bit more black into it again, and wherever I think it needs just a bit more contrast, I'm gonna give it a quick little once over. Dirty up the pants here a little bit. I think that's about it, except for some minor detail work here and there. Alright, here we are. We are virtually done. I just have a little bit of cleanup work to do, but I am really tired, and we're gonna stop right here. It is just over 2 hours to paint this guy, and you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and give my follow-up tomorrow once I finish up a little bit of cleanup work. I just noticed there's a blob on the back of his head I gotta fix, and finish the gem there and just paint the base. Oh, another little blob there. Well, a little bit of touch up here and there. Oh, I forgot to paint his nipple. So back tomorrow and we'll do the wrap-up. And here we are, our finished Bones Ogre. Did some slight changes off camera. Mainly I replaced this little thing here, painted it a dark bluish gray. I assumed it was supposed to be a scar, but after looking at it for a while, it just sticks out way too far, and so I just painted it black because I didn't know what the hell it's supposed to be. But there you go. And I replaced the gem. I didn't like it was too shiny. I painted this red first and just looked too clean and elfy, so just painted it gold. It's not the best paint job, to be honest. It did last. I still got my timer here. 2 hours and 6 minutes to paint him. Could have done a little bit better of a job if I had some more time, but I did try to get him painted quickly. As to the bones material itself, it's okay. I mean, it's fairly similar to any other PVC type material, like the Fine Cast or the Privateer Press or any other. There's so many different companies coming out with a similar PVC material, vinyl, plastic for their miniatures. The one benefit of it is it's cheap. So it's not Fine Cast $20-$30 PVC, it's $3 PVC. So because of the price is okay. This guy would have, in metal, the price for one of these guys in metal, you can get 3 in bones material. So it's not the best. If I was painting something up for competition, I wouldn't pick a bones miniature, but if you're looking for a lot of troops for your miniature game, some cheaper options, or you know, I'm thinking about getting a bunch of orcs in bones for D&D. But there you go. There's your bone stuff. A little hard to clean because you do have to very carefully cut it off, and it's very prone to leaving little burrs. So that's the main issue I would see with it. And also it is very bendy, so if you have a lot of thin swords, it's going to have a lot of issues trying to bend all that back. But let's move on to something a little bit better for next time.